Okay, looks like we are ready for Kirby and an Amazing Mirror 100%. So give it up for Sniper Wave and Kinnan11.
Mike's live.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Let me actually take this down. So, if you're wondering why Kinnan is still restarting, if we keep being on the menu for too long, or if we get a demo screen, the game actually lags even more. So we're just preventing that before we start.
Okay, another important question for the audience. What color should I play as? Pink?
Cherry.
Pink it is.
Oh boy. The ever so classic real Kirby.
Exactly. Anyways, we got this beautiful little screen showing us like, hey, you're playing this in multiplayer. We're going to be starting off with a fresh file from his. It doesn't matter that I have 80% on my file because it's all going to be on Sniper's file. So I think without much further ado, we're about ready, right?
Yep.
Okay. Can I get a countdown?
2,
1,
go!
So right at the start, we're going to get a little tutorial area. This is usually where the game kind of explains to you how Kirby works by design, basically. But we're just going to run through it, and especially because we're two people, we're going to do something fun here. We actually get to
do things by the intended strat.
What?
Whoa.
Intended strats?
Developer intended, everyone.
However, right here, Sniper's gonna get himself a mix. Now, what a mix is that you grab two enemies and you can mix them into anything you want, like that. That was actually really good. You're gonna be seeing that a lot more throughout the run, so be ready for those. It's like a 4-frame timing trick, and we're gonna go straight into the hub world. So the hub world is something you're gonna be seeing a lot in 100% because we're basically doing a lot of segments and then returning to it. Now the current idea is that Sniper's gonna boost ahead and he's gonna call me up at a certain junction so that I can go somewhere else where he can't go with wheel, and that basically saves about 10 to 15 seconds of travel time.
Yeah, so most of the time, you also see two other Kirbys on the top left corner of the screen. If they're not in your region, you can see them in the top left. If not, you'll see an arrow on your screen. We tend to call them the idiots for various reasons. They have ruined many runs.
Yeah, they ruin runs if you're playing multiplayer or single player. They're absolutely horrible.
So what they do is they go to random areas on their own. They get abilities. I think they actually do nothing. Oh my word.
No, they don't do anything that will actually save in the game. So they will not actually be helping us out with getting 100%. And speaking about 100%, what is the definition of 100%? Well, you have to collect every single treasure in the game, which is quite a lot.
And you have to visit every area in the game.
Exactly. So here's, for instance, a map treasure. And now I have to wait a little bit for Sniper to get to the junction. Now, usually in 90% when I get here, I have nothing to do, so I take a selfie. Sadly, I don't have enough time to take an actual selfie.
There's a lot more to do in Hundo for him, so...
Exactly. We're just gonna wait up until we get to the junction.
Also, funnily enough, depending on what system you play on, or like, I think also some random factor, you have input delay.
Yes.
And it's different every single time. And it is absolutely awful to get used to.
And in multiplayer, the oh my lord.
Don't tell me. Oh, that's big.
Yeah, so that was, for instance, another instance of input delay. I have to press up at one point to get my missile to do what I want. But because I didn't jump in time, I messed that up. It's actually quite a common mistake to mess up your inputs in multiplayer because in multiplayer, all the inputs get even more delay than usual.
And sometimes they just completely disappear. For instance, whenever we jump throughout ravines, you might see us fall into it randomly. That is probably because, well, we don't get any inputs.
Oh god, is that... Okay, that was still missile.
And that was our first boss, which is King Golem, and totally not Wispy. You can see the difference. Wispy doesn't spit out golems. So there's a faster way to kill him. It requires you to mash B at a certain time. I was slightly too late, so he spawned a golem into me, and I got hit. But you just spam stone on him. He eventually dies.
Oh, and don't worry about this frame rate. That's completely normal. The game is very poorly optimized for 2 players, so whenever 2 players are in certain rooms, the game just slows down, and especially if you're going through doors.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Tech. We'll let you know when it's not on our side.
Oh my lord. I'm not having a good run here. Yeah. Well, that's the first death. Oof. First of probably a couple. The reason for me that I'm more likely to get deaths is throughout the run we're going to be picking up vitality, but they're not actually going to work for me unless we soft reset. And we're not going to be soft resetting during this run,
because that
hopefully.
would require us to reconnect the cables, go throughout a menu, wait for the cables to connect. There's just a lot to it.
Yeah, it takes a long time, so any time save you would get from soft resetting is gone.
Oh man, this room is a lot worse than normal.
Yeah, I'm in the What'll Do room, so.
Speaking of Waddle Doos, there's a fun thing if you play this game with 4 players. If 7 or more Waddle Doos fire their beam at the same time, the game's desync and you'll just have to restart. This game is very, very poorly optimized for multiple players.
Yeah. And still it allows you to play with 4 players.
And this is where Kinnan is starting off his long space adventure.
Yes.
While I'm gonna cross a few beaches.
So I'm basically going to Candy Constellation, and I'm going to be clearing almost everything on my own in one go.
And meanwhile, I'm just gonna have to go through one of the very many dead ends. So most of the dead ends end in the goal game. You actually do not have to do the goal games for some reason. They don't count towards your percentage. But visiting the area that has the portal to the goal game is actually required.
So there I did another quick little wheel mix. That one is like 3rd on the wheel, so it's really easy to just like time the presses.
So this is one of the few instances where you'll see the mini Kirby. You have not seen this in the any percent. It is only required to get a few treasures. And this was part of the mini section. That was actually really nice. So there's a few ways to let the star bounce back. So the moment you are sucking, the star actually takes priority over the gigantic gray block we are sucking in.
Do you want me to send you on your way, or?
I'm just gonna get the map on my own, and then I'll be there. I'll get my own stone.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to open the door for you. I'm gonna open the door, and then you can get there.
So normally, we would be in sync to a point where the moment Kinnan touches this, I would be getting a into this area. From there, Kinnan will call me over here. We will swap abilities and we do our own sections. However, since we were kind of out of sync, we just have to improvise.
We're riding on the fly. We usually have like a couple of segments we can give to each other near the end quite easily to make sure that everything lines up perfectly. And we end in just about the same time. I do very much need this stone, so I'm gonna need it for right here. And get the CD player. So, unlike any other Kirby game, in Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, you actually have to collect the CD player to be able to do sound tests. And you can't even do all the sounds instantly. You actually have to collect the sounds as you go along. I'm gonna wait for Sniper to get here so I can get my own wheel, because I do need it for the upcoming Candy Constellation section. There we go.
Yeah, mostly for this route. And another issue with most co-op runs is because we have 2 people here, people tend to make mistakes and these stack up. And for co-op, it's basically twice as bad. So it kind of requires optimization in the routing to like account for this thing. Also, I'm currently unlocking most of the doors in this world while Kinnan is still continuing his adventure. Opening doors is very handy if you would like to visit every single area. So
Exactly. It just helps out because the Candy Constellation section is so long that you can just go around and press the buttons so that once I'm done with Candy Constellation, we can both basically start clearing just about everything in the game. There is one door that Sniper will not be opening for a very long amount of time, though. You'll see it like in the final stretch of the game. And now I'm in the infamous lag room. This room actually lags in single player sometimes as well, so prepare for some beautiful frame rate drops.
And as you can see, I also have a waddle doo on my screen, so it isn't helping. This game has a very bad tendency to lag.
Now, a very cool thing about this game is that this game has been developed by Hell Laboratories, who basically do all the Kirby games. But they also do Smash. Look at that, Master Hand. So this game has actually been out, that was released after Super Smash Bros. Melee. And they actually put in Master Hand and for that. Master Hand actually gives you the Smash ability as well, which is actually called SSBM in the German version, which you'll be seeing on Sniper's screen.
So the thing that happened on my end is there was a mirror over there. They are kind of timid. They get scared if you bonk into things or run at them. And because I was running before I entered my wheel, he actually dug himself into the ground, so I couldn't pass him. This tends to happen a few times. So it actually, in order to pass him, you have to reset the area and then go back.
Yeah, it can be a little bit annoying.
See, there's more door unlocking for me. And with switches, we actually have to look at each other because they tend to eat one or two inputs. And that could be fatal for any run.
Yeah. It's really nice that we're actually able to just have two TVs next to each other for now. Because usually when we do co-op runs, one of us is playing on GBASP. So we actually have to just like look over. And it's kind of hard.
So I'm about to enter a part of Carrot Castle where I have to call for Kinnan because there is a very diverging path here. And getting here is actually quite a pain. So in order to save travel time, I call Kinnan somewhere in this section, just after this mirror. And for that, I'll have to wait until he is done with Master Hand and after he gets his own wheel.
Exactly. So right here, more references to Super Smash Bros. We got Master Hand and Crazy Hand. Now these are extremely annoying. I'm getting some nice luck though, so I can get Stone. Stone is a very strong boss killing ability. It deals a lot of damage to bosses really quickly.
Also, a reminder to stay hydrated.
Definitely. Our Crazy Hand is being a little bit annoying. There we go.
There we go. So yeah, this is another part of accounting for the desyncs. We cannot account for everything because we have to sync up at a few areas.
Yeah.
This being one of them. But hey, we get to enjoy the very good music of Garrett Castle and the entire OST for that matter.
I'm gonna grab the thing as well. So here, Sniper is gonna go for the first one, and I'm gonna go for the second one. And we're in the same area, and that makes the game a lag like nothing else.
It's not just that this area is here for both of us, but our screen both have a lot of Gordos on them, and Gordos are one of the few things that make the game lag like crazy.
So here I'm gonna call the idiots. I'm actually not calling for Sniper, just so that they can break this block. This is one of the few puzzles that I think it's actually the only puzzle that really requires us calling the idiots.
Yeah, it should be the only one.
Yeah.
There's alternate solutions where you could call a second one, but there's one in the inter area where it was intended to do it with multiple. But if you jump through the gap in fast enough, you will actually be able to get that on your own. Like barely, but you'll be able to get it.
So here we got the first vitality with, well, the second vitality
Second
actually.
vitality.
Which for Sniper basically means a health refill, and for me basically means nothing.
Yeah, Ken is donating me some very needed health.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on 6 health throughout the entire game. Which is gonna be fun.
So yeah, this is Mega Titan. This boss has 2 phases. The first of which, we have to put him into one of these electric fences and do that 4 times in order to damage him. The second phase is ahead. He just floats around. But it's still a very tedious fight. So you might have noticed that I knocked him backwards on my first hit. Mega Titan's hitboxes are kind of weird. Depending on where you hit the hitbox, it actually determines the direction where he goes to. So by delaying my jump, I actually knock him backwards into the fence directly. Kirby's so adorable when he dances.
Definitely. So fun fact about the section that I'm currently doing, I'm literally just walking towards a dead end. This is literally just to open up a single area. That's it. That's the only reason we're here.
You also see us like go in and out of mirrors. Those are only to register the areas as visited. They have nothing in them of value. But we have to visit them, so.
Can I guys interrupt you for something?
Go right ahead.
So I heard you guys have problems with lag. There's something that doesn't have lag. The monitors from our sponsor, ViewSonic.
Well done, Nandi. Well done.
So our sponsor ViewSonic supports the event with several monitors for the streaming area, as well for several practice monitors, obviously with minimal latency for speed and accuracy. They simply understand gamers and want to show their support and to continue BSG and to spread the love to gamers in Europe.
Oh boy. Oh, there goes Wheel. We don't really care about Wheel in this section. What we do care about is this treasure that's right up here. We actually visit this place again, but I'd like to knock it out directly. So the reason we don't care about Wheel is because over here we are actually going to get another ability that we'll see very frequently, which is the UFO. UFO offers a lot of utility and a lot of power for bosses. So I think in the English version this boss is called Bomber, but for some reason in German it is called Jetstar, and I actually prefer that name.
Just for the record, by the way, we're not really playing a different version, we're just playing different languages. The European version has like a multiple set of languages, and we usually just pick them at random for the hell of it. See what like language we like the most. And currently for me that's Spanish.
So I went for a mix there. You can get Hammer with that mix. That makes the boss fight at the end of the section a little faster, but it's not required, so we can just keep on going. I was actually late by a single tick. Parasol is next in the mix wheel.
There we go. Second try wheel mix right there. As you might have noticed during my wheel mix, near the end of the wheel actually slows down, and in some mixes we can use that to our advantage to basically make the mix a lot easier rather than having to time it in like really fast.
Oh. And that there was an instant of an input being eaten. I was trying to jump there, but Kirby just slipped down. It's unfortunate, but it happens. So earlier you could see me hit a pole that can only be hit by hammer, stone, or smash, and the Master Sword, which won't be unlocked until we defeat the final boss of the game.
Sadly, luckily we won't be using that at all. It's pretty
Imagine
bad.
going through that twice.
Yeah, oof.
That is a long section for almost nothing of value. So this is Wiz. He jumps into 5 different spots and spawns a bunch of enemies. Hammer actually makes this a very, very fast fight, but Parasol isn't half bad, so we'll take things as is. Oh, he's being rude. He's being very rude today, though.
So Sniper went this direction a little bit earlier, but there's another door at the end, so I'm gonna go through there right now to finish more of Olive Ocean. Nice. It's really nice. Whenever there's a shard, the music keeps playing for me, so I just get to enjoy it a little bit longer.
So right now I'm gonna head up to Mustard Mountain to fight yet another boss while Kinnan is on his way to his own.
But first, I have to deal with one of the worst mid-bosses. This is Boxy. Now, what you really don't want Boxy to do is to randomly go into the corners. Oh my lord. Because then he becomes absolutely impossible to fight. And I died. Wow. I'm getting some really bad luck on
Burning
these
is
fights.
actually very good against them, so you could call the idiots if you'd like.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Actually gonna take this max tomato just for safety. The next area is very hit heavy, so just for safety, you can always take the items lying on the floor. They only spawn once every time you reset, but since we usually just visit these areas just once, we usually do not have to care. So the reason I got hit there on purpose is because this sets up for a very easy mix. So letting this mix roll out gives you missile, and missile lets you be able to get through these and get this music note.
There we go. Oh, one of them got magic. So that's actually one of the reasons why the idiots are annoying. If they get magic, damn, too early. They can be really annoying and use it and lose you a bunch of time by just slow animations and whatever.
Yeah, there's a random chance to spawn a Meta Knight as well and just destroy all enemies on the screen.
Yeah, that's what I got just now.
While that might sound really good, it actually has a chance to freeze your character in place for a while and actually kill you.
So I'm currently doing a mix setup. I got it first try just now, but I messed up the mix, so I have to try it again. I refuse to do sword skip. I like sword skip a lot better.
It is technically faster if you get it first try. Sword skip allows you to reset more easily, but UFO mix is faster.
Yeah. The problem with sword skip is that it's really based off of the idiots, and if you can't manipulate their position well enough, it is extremely random, and I really dislike that about sword skip.
So
you
while
really
Kinnan-
have to have a finesse for it.
And while Kinnan is doing a UFO mix, I'm gonna try one of my own. I'm gonna give it 2 tries and then I'll just do the normal strat. So the idea is to mix this UFO and this tornado to get UFO just like that.
There we go. The fire backup, if you kind of if your mix was a little bit late on UFO, is a little bit tough to get right, but wow, there was already your green Kirby there. Green Kirby, what were you doing in there? Why didn't you press the button?
He's so rude.
Wow, they never help us.
That's a very good instance of the idiots never helping. They're actual idiots. So now we're gonna use the worst ability in the game, according to many. This is Cupid. It's very slow, flies very slowly, but it does one thing really well. And for that, we're gonna use it for just a second, which is cutting this rope. And now we're ditching Cupid in favor of the wheel because, well, the wheel is OP.
Revel Wheel OP.
I should actually grab that treasure. Good job, me.
It's probably a good idea.
Probably a good idea if you want 100%.
Oof, oof, oof. Sorry, whenever I'm saying oof, it's usually meant towards the wonderful lag that we're getting.
This game has a beautiful, beautiful frame rate.
It in single player, it actually runs at 60. Whenever you start co-op, it already gets reduced to 30 by default.
Ooh.
And if you get laggy rooms, well, then it's just gone.
And I got a very lucky candy. This candy actually makes it slightly faster to kill this Batafire. You can just stand right in the middle of him, and he'll just die on the spot. We'll still need stone anyway, but his wheel is pretty rad. I agree, audience.
Oh my lord.
So yeah, this is Krakow. It's actually like harder than you might think. Getting a double hit is very precise because you tend to get hit very easily. You could go safe for safety and just stand in the middle or just go above him, stone him down. But if you hit him well enough, you actually get 2 hits down at once, making you able to kill him in 4 hits. And with that, we are gonna start our very, very long tour of this world. So you might have heard Kinnan mention that the developers of this game also helped develop Smash Melee. Oh, we're gonna see a lot of Smash here. And I mean a lot. Because this is known as Smash Tour. It is a very integral part of the normal 100% for a single player as well. You can actually not lose the ability for most of this route, so I'm gonna have to sit tight for just about 8 minutes.
Meanwhile, I just beat Gobbler. Should have mentioned that earlier. I'm quickly gonna check some notes, by the way.
As it turns out, that is also a boss. Gobbler in single player can actually be one shot, but because co-op gives all the bosses a little extra health, you actually have to do a minimum of two stones on him.
Yeah, I actually have to do a backup with the sword anyways, because I lost stone along the way. Sometimes that can be really annoying in that section. Meanwhile, I'm going to do a little bit of backtracking again. You might have seen Sniper do this section. Well, I'm going to do it too, but just a little bit at the end here to get one room down.
And by killing this Master Hand, we get our Smash ability. So Smash has a different name in every language. I think it is Melee in French, it is SSBM in German, it is Smash in English and Spanish and Italian. I actually don't know.
No, I don't know those either, actually. It's been a while.
Yeah, those are very cute references. So this drop steals your ability. It doesn't do damage, but it gets very annoying.
So at this point in the route, basically we're both doing cleanup. We're just getting as many treasures and as many dead ends as we can. As quickly as we can. And some of them are a little bit obnoxious, like this one.
You'll see me do either a hammer spin or a just a spinning slash attack. That actually depends on if you are still holding the D-pad or not. Holding the D-pad makes you do a hammer attack. Not holding the D-pad makes you do the spinning slash. And this is where we are going to abuse the game's mechanics a little. So normally, you would need to get the idiots in here, suck up the block, and then do that. But we don't tend to do that. We just go up and down 20 times and just cheat through here. Because Kirby's hitboxes are kind of weird after all. So by turning around just where the block crosses, you can get past that and enter the door.
So this is another area that we're going to be seeing a little bit more of in a bit, because it has 2 paths, but both of them lead basically to dead ends. So I gotta do that one real quick. And in the meantime, I first have to go to this section. No. Remembering all the routes you have to go through from the hub world can be a little bit confusing.
Yeah, it's very easy to get confused, especially once all doors have been unlocked, which will happen very soon. It is very easily to lose track of your things and forget an entire section.
We will actually be checking if we actually got 100% near the end, because else we're gonna have to do the final boss all over again. we go.
Yeah, the Smash Tour consists of 6 parts, each reaching a different dead end or a different path of treasures. And in true speedrunner fashion, we are gonna end this tour by grabbing a wheel because, well, we're speedrunners. We need our wheels to go fast.
Mm-hmm. I don't think a call is going to be possible, by the way.
Okay, good to know. So yeah, this is Batafire. We've seen him a bunch of times. He's always very annoying. But he's adorable and we love him for it.
So here I'm setting up a double star. Now in regular single player, a double star can kill this guy in 1 hit. Sadly, I can't do that, so I'm gonna have to call the idiots and let them help me kill this guy. It really saves a lot of time over trying to do it all by yourself. It's really nice, and thanks to that I can get myself a nice little fighter to use. To do another really short segment right over here.
So yeah, at the end of this section I was supposed to call Kinnan. But again, he's behind, so I'm just gonna have to move on. Open the door next to here. So at the bottom of the screen there is a door, so Kinnan can just freely enter from there. It's just very slight bit of travel time that we save, but every little time save is welcome. With that, all but 1 door has been opened, but we'll have to wait for the last door just a little bit. Because we have a lot of things to do in Peppermint Palace. There's a lot of treasures to collect, a lot of paths to take. Even the Smash Tour has 2 segments here. There's just so much to do.
So again, just simply having to go there before continuing onwards. A thing you might have noticed Sniper doing, by the way, is instead of continuing further into a certain part of the game, he went out of the hub world to go to a different hub world area. That's literally the only time we ever do that. It barely saves time as far as I know, but it's just quick enough. It just like cleans up the route a bit.
It is the fastest way of travel between areas. That isn't calling, so we just make the best of it.
Yep. So here I'm calling the idiots again to press that little button for me so I can get this map. It really is quite useful to have the idiots on call sometimes.
They try their best. It's just that their best isn't really that good.
Now the only problem I have right now is if you look to my top left, you'll notice.
Smash! Where'd you go?
Nope.
Oh, oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Oh boy, that means I have to do that backup, do I? Oh.
Oh boy, that backup.
Well, this is gonna be fun. So there's a very awkward backup here. It takes a while, but it is a Smash mix.
Yeah, I really dislike that backup.
I also really dislike it, but it is a backup, so.
It's really bad. But yeah, it's a backup that's specifically made for co-op because you can't really reset the Smash route quite as easily in co-op.
So the premise of this mix is we let the Foley drop right next while the Sir Kibble is firing. I'm actually going to give it 1 more go, and if I don't get it, I'm just going to recall and have to do this again. There's more ways to get Smash, but this is just the most convenient one. This Sir Kibble is not really cooperating. He has a chance to go left. That requires him to fire 2 additional boomerangs.
Meanwhile, I got to roll out a mix into wheel. It's always nice. It's a nice feeling.
I was too late. Whatever. This mix is very, very tricky to get. The setup is very finicky just because the bomb tends to explode really fast. Actually, that isn't the way I was supposed to go. Right, so there's multiple ways out. This definitely being one of them. Actually, there's more ways than one. It's another thing of the Hondo route. There's multiple backups for different sections, and you get confused between those very easily. And being indecisive is just kind of a death knell throughout the run.
2, yeah, 3. So I finally kind of caught up with the point where Sniper was supposed to call me. It saves very little travel time, but it saves enough for it to be worth it.
So yeah, the easy smash mix is getting these two naughties. At the very end of the wheel, there is Smash, so it's just a very easy setup. Takes a while, but it is Smash, so we'll take it.
I don't mind losing stone here as long as I've actually hit the peg.
Wait, this way is a one-way, I can't do that. Actually gonna have to go through all of that again.
So, we haven't really done any bosses for a while now, haven't we?
I feel like this. If there would be a time for donations, it would be now.
Well, we currently have no donations, but we still have a few bid wars that are open. For example, we have coming up, we have Pokemon Moon, the name for the Puplio. Currently, there's only one name, what is Crunchwrap, with 15 euros. And we also have the trainer name for that game. What has Girl versus Olivia in the lead with 30 euros. So if you want to snipe that, you have only around 90 minutes to do that. So take your time if you want to do that. Also, we have Ape Escape 2 open for the monkey football. We need around 180 euros for that. It's a mini game, so it's really fun to see.
Yeah, monkey football is actually very fun to watch. I would recommend donating for that.
Yep, me as well.
So if anyone is doubting his choice and wants to put it towards a runner's choice, I would recommend putting it towards that.
So here we finally get to see another boss again. This is Moly, also known as Talpar, also known as Talpator, also known as the worst boss in this game. Wherever he pops up is completely random, and sometimes he just pokes up and does nothing.
Oh my word, not again. Oh, at least this backup is a lot easier. Oh my word.
But like sometimes he can just like keep trolling you the entire time. He's actually giving me okay luck. Usually he can be way worse. I'm not really doing him justice though.
Oh.
There we go. And that's finally Moly done. The main problem during co-op is that he has a little bit more health, so his randomness becomes even bigger of a problem than usual.
Yeah, that was one early. So you actually want to get Smash here as well. It is the easiest backup to get. Setup is fairly easy to do. You just make the Foley drop down in just both. And there it is. We have another Smash. The Smash Tour is a very finicky thing to do. Oh boy. Fan, please! I think I might actually call the idiots just to like recover some health. Which is, I guess, their only function in this game.
For you, maybe.
So if Fan gets hit during an animation where he grabs you, he actually resets the animation. Good thing the Kirbys can hit it for you. And this fight gives us a max tomato, so all the health we have gets recovered. That specific bit of Smasher is actually really difficult without input delay, and with input delay it really doesn't get any prettier, as one would expect. So this is the second to last segment. I feel like Kinnan has already been here, but he hasn't taken all the paths. There's actually a path that leads down here. And we need Smash for a very specific bit in this path.
In the meantime, I'm gonna grab another wheel and go for the first set of Peppermint Palace cleanups.
Oh, that is a very, very notable mirror lag.
Yep.
Oh, there.
You're welcome. I hope you like it.
I mean, at least we didn't have that bad of mirror lag in lag room, so we'll take it. There's
Yeah.
one more very laggy room coming up. You'll see that later.
Oh, it's the worst.
So Tech, if oh boy, there's a backup for that though. So there's one more room that's coming up. Tech, if you feel like the game is running at 5 FPS, that is because it is actually running at 5 FPS.
Don't worry about it.
It's completely normal. So, because we don't have Smash and we have to hit that pole, there's a bonkers here, very conveniently placed. Giving us very good patterns as well.
It's one of the few times the developers were actually nice. Sometimes if you lose your ability that you need to get to a certain area, you just have to reset the entire section. I remember that was the worst part about my casual playthrough. And during 100% speedruns, it's no different, really.
So yeah, Bonkers giving us Hammer here is completely fine. We do need to get another Smash for the last bit of Smash 2 though, but Hammer for here is good enough. We'll just get one from the Naughties as we did earlier.
Why, hello there.
Hey, long time no see.
And goodbye. So yeah, it's gonna happen a lot that we're just both going back to the hub world. I'll go into the room here, by the way.
So the way we go back to the upworld, this phone has two functions. Pressing the R button calls everyone else that is currently in the party, including the idiots, and pressing L actually returns you to the hub from anywhere. So if you get stuck in any puzzle or we're somehow stuck in a wall, you can just get yourself back to safety.
Wait, you've ever done that?
I feel like someone has done that before.
Wow.
I remember seeing that at some point in my life and just laughing like nobody's business. So yeah, this is the third time we're crossing this path. There's a lot to do here. So going to the right there actually does nothing for our pathing.
Already did the door there.
That's good to know. So both Kinnan and I can hit that door. If one forgets, the other can fill in.
Currently, currently I'm a little bit ahead of our sync, so I just did that real quick. And I got a free candy right here. Whee! Doesn't really help me much because, well, I'm just wheeling through here anyways.
So yeah, this is the last bit of Smash here. We're actually required to have Smash just for this room alone. This room has a puzzle that requires you to have a sword and a stone or a hammer in order to pass. And since Smash has both of those, it just makes this room very, very fast. So we can just do it in a single clear.
Oh, I messed that up. For
There's
some
also-
reason, this... Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, if nobody's gonna do it, then I will. So you can actually lock yourself out of a few treasures this room by hitting the bombs in the wrong order. So the order we do it in is actually both the fastest and I think the only one you can do it for getting all the free of the treasures at once.
Yep. So currently I'm gonna go through Olive Ocean with a missile. Now, missile is not really the best ability to use underwater, sadly. It goes extremely slow and it's just not useful, but in the rooms coming up, it becomes a lot more useful. And it's just part of the cleanup.
So like true speedrunners we are, this is the end of the Smash Tour. There's a yellow golem here. If he rolls, he gives you a wheel, but only while he's rolling. So it's a very finicky timing for when you have to ingest them.
Yeah, there are more golems like that. The pale golem actually gives you fighter if he punches you while you suck him up. The brown one sadly only gives you stone ever.
Also, we just run like a bunch of timid people from this this Frosty fight. We've already been there. Beating him actually gets you a start that brings you to Candy Constellation, but since Kinnan did that at the very start, we actually do not need to go through. Normally in the single segment or the single player run, you would go to Candy Constellation from here and do some cleanup there. But we don't have to because Kinnan is a very good player and did all of that.
Oh, thank you.
He's the best co-op partner.
Yeah, sadly I'm playing with the worst co-op partner, so...
I don't worry, his opinion on Cherry is still wrong, chat. I believe you. I believe in Cherry. Every
No.
Kirby is a cute Kirby.
Hell to hell with Cherry.
Cherry's still best color.
Oh, please. Don't start. I will ban all of you. I don't know from where, but I will ban you all.
Also, by opening all the doors, we get another door. This door actually holds a room that has every single ability in the game on a statue, aside from UFO. The reason for that is that UFO cannot be used in the hub. Why? Well, I don't know. Probably because the utility is too good.
So, Ice is weak to fire. So, Frosty dies extremely quickly to fire right here.
So you may have seen these switches. This is the only one we actually use. The switches transport you from one area to another. This one being the most useful. You'll see why later.
Also, we're in the laggiest room right now.
Yeah, this room also tends to lag a lot for no reason at all. With mirror lag on top of that, well, this is where the 5 FPS kind of begins.
Usually, if we're in sync, I have like 3 Gordas on the screen in that room, and it's the worst.
Yeah, if you've seen the CDI run a bit ago, this is actually just as bad.
Maybe not as funny, but...
Add a new wheel. And we see that Green Kirby has magic yet again.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Let's hope he loses it.
Let's hope he gets a useless ability from it and just like opens the mix wheel, gets another magic.
I hope he never gets magic in his life again.
So, yeah, getting hit by the leap stuns you for a while, and, well, that just happened. This is why losing Wheel on this screen in particular is very unfortunate. Wheel actually allows you to dash over these as well. Oh my word, leap.
Well, how did I die there? Wow.
This run is going amazing. This is Snipper Clips 2.0. Let's go.
Oh,
And there's
no.
Meta Knight. Look at that.
Wow.
Amazing. There you go, leap. Eat it.
So actually the room I'm in is usually referred to as the ouch room because you get hit a lot. Now normally in 100% you have so much health here that it doesn't matter, but because I never get any extra health, this room becomes extremely dangerous.
So doing this room with Wheel is basically just to do damage list. It's just about as fast normally, but Wheel's movement is just so fast and smooth. It's always sad when you lose it.
Do we have time for a donation?
Go right ahead.
I have a 250 anonymous donation with no comments, so thank you for that donation.
Did you get the door, by the way?
Yeah, I did get that door.
Yeah, okay. I always check. I don't know why.
All right. So this leads to another goal game. I tend to forget. So this actually brings us to the second part of this. If you remember the switch from earlier, we'll be using that in a while. You actually need to press both parts of the switch, just to go through it. So we just hit the first part. Wait, what healed me?
I did.
Oh, Vitality?
Vitality.
That always gets me. So yeah, the other switch is right over here at Care Castle. So by doing that, we can just go through here and go right into the ruins, which are apparently just below the castle.
It's a really nice save on travel time. We actually do use that in regular 100% as well.
Good thing you're not in a laggy room right now.
Well,
Very good to know.
oh wow, that was actually quite smooth.
You might sync up at the end.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna... No, I'm almost done. I'm gonna go into Candy Constellation by myself.
So we haven't even set this from the very get-go, but this is the very first time that this run has been shown off, ever. We haven't streamed it. The first run we actually did was today earlier in the practice room. We've done a good bunch of run-throughs of this game before, just to see if the route worked out. But yeah, this is the very first streamed run of Co-op 100%.
No, I'm actually gonna go. And if everything works out, we might actually get a world record, because world record is really bad.
Yeah, world record right now is, I think it's held by Undefined and Undefined.
Oh, is that it?
They have a,
Well, technically.
they have a time of Undefined.
I mean, if you want to be technical about it, but in the practice room, we got a 57.05, so if we can beat that,
I'll be happy.
I suggest us doing this one on your own. Or, no, actually, I can do this. You just have to do the labyrinth section. And then we're done.
I'm actually going to keep the wheel here. This is actually a very bad ability to fight the boss, but since Kinnan is waiting, I'm just going to use him. Nice candy.
Must.
Completely useless, but... See, I'm just going to get Kinnan right over here. And I'm going to get the heck out of there. And I shall be off to clean up one of the last few areas in the game.
So yeah, I have to deal with both Meta Knight and the idiots in here. The idiots can sometimes be useful, but usually not. But I got a pretty good fight, so... I did the upper one already.
Okay. So it's just the labyrinth left?
Just the labyrinth.
Cool. Huh. Nice estimate. Good job, Tech. I love you.
First run.
What's an estimate?
So I'm just gonna wait here, and because I have to wait here, I don't really care. I'm gonna take a selfie.
Yeah, we have to like compensate for not being able to do it at the start. So
Let's see if I can get some people in the audience to join in. There we go. Oh, the tech crew is coming
boy.
as well. Oh boy, yeah. Say Poyo!
Poyo!
There we go.
Yeah, this jump is fairly precise. You have to line up your beam with that single bit of bomb box. There's another way to do it. It's a lot safer, but this saves a little bit of time. So we'll just go for it. Goodbye, beam. We never needed you anyway. So this is the last bit of cleanup in the game. Usually Kinnan does the labyrinth here to line up more easily. Oh,
Well, I would have done the labyrinth, but to quickly be able to get rid of Meta Knight, it ended up being smarter for me to do the other.
Okay, after this,
section.
there's I think,
yeah,
this is it. So we're basically ready to face the final boss.
But before we do that, I'm gonna go into the start menu, and we are going to check if we actually got everything. Because I do not want to go through the final boss twice.
This looks good. So when all the panels are cleared, they will actually shine. They'll just be pulsing with brighter and less bright. This one looks good.
Let's see.
Looks like we actually did get everything, so...
This is the final one. Yeah, we got everything. Awesome.
So I'll be getting my... my stone here. I don't think there's idiots in the hub, but we'll just call them nonetheless because they should not be in this fight for a very good reason.
Can we get it? No, we can't get it.
So this is Dark Meta Knight. Apparently there's 2 Meta Knights, and this is apparently the one that sliced us in half at the very start. It's like the normal Meta Knight, he really doesn't enjoy stones.
So we bring 2. Oops. Go ahead.
Oh.
Oh, wow, he blocked. So, yeah, that's another thing.
Just like normal
can
Meta
do.
Knight, he blocks.
And it's really annoying. Let's quickly do this pose. I messed up.
We don't just do this for fun, but it actually saves a frame or 2.
Yeah.
Because we are closer to the portal that spawns here.
It's a minor time save, but it looks cool usually.
And Meta Knight helps us out by throwing his sword in.
So this is the Master Sword. The only reason, the only thing we're going to be doing with it is create double stars. The reason for this is whenever you hit a double star against Dark Mind, this happens.
He gets hit by knockback.
So the idea is that in the first double star takes like about half of his health, and the second would deal the rest. And the amount of time it takes for him to be knocked back is enough time for the invincibility frames to run out. And that way we can get a double hit on the double star. It's really nice. And it makes these fights a lot more bearable.
Yeah, we have a 19 lives. This should just be enough for this boss here.
I have about 12.
Even if we run out, we can still borrow from the other, so.
Ha, if we run out.
Huh. Like that ever happens.
Not in Hundo. Hi. So here it's very important for Sniper to have Sword, because it basically allows us to completely skip over a 20-second walking section.
3, 2, 1, drop.
And usually that's completely random if you can get that. But in co-op, yeah, you can just grab a sword from the get-go. Can you grab that? Oh.
Wrong way. Oh.
So this Dark Mind doesn't actually die with one double star, and we're going to have to wait for a certain star. We're looking for green stars here, because a green star gives us a mix. And with that mix, we can get UFO quite easily. And UFO is a very strong ability. Sadly, we're not getting lucky at all.
There's nothing.
Wow.
Dark Mind,
Dark
please.
Mind.
This boss is kind of the bane of most of the runner's existence. He is quite the dingus.
Oh, that was one. Oh, I hit him. Oops. Okay, got
You
one.
have one. Nice.
Nice,
You
got
just
it.
kill him. Unless he's targeting me.
There we go.
Oh, what's this?
So yeah,
Is,
this is
This is something.
this is the Eye of Sauron.
And there we have a Shadow Kirby throwing us the Master Sword out of nowhere. Wonder where that came from.
So the idea with certain of Dark Mind's attacks here is that you want to try and hit both the eye and the mirrors for a double hit. The mirror will always give you more damage potential, and it will stop his... Oh, I could have killed him there, I think. It will stop his move. There we go. And that's that phase of Dark Mind.
So unlike any percent, we don't actually time when we do the final hit. We actually time when the 100% completion pops up.
That's a Kirby staple. It's actually really nice that Kirby games just give you giant pop-ups like, hey, you got 100%, you're awesome.
So too bad this game only does it for the player which file is being used.
Yeah.
So it will only show up on my screen, sadly.
I'll just let the credits play, or the cutscene. So for all your Spanish readers out there, you're gonna see the backstory of this game. For those that can't speak Spanish, I'm very sorry.
Lore in a speed game, what is this?
I know, right?
We have an A button to skip it, or a start button.
So a fun fact about the credits is you can still fight the boss, and you have a little attack counter at the bottom. We like to try and get 69 on it, but we suck at getting that, so we're just gonna get as many as we can.
We're just gonna get a high score. Why not?
Come on.
There is also a very small chance that this boss soft locks at the very end of the game.
Yeah.
I would be very unfortunate to see it, and I probably just jinxed it, but whatever.
I've only ever had that happen to me once, and I believe it only ever, like, during one world record run, it actually happened as well, and it killed that world record. That's a very old run, though. Oh, wow. This actually lags a lot more than I expected. We might actually be causing lag by trying to hit him.
200. Let's go.
Nice.
No soft lock. Let's go.
So we're gonna skip this cutscene. At least he's going to skip this cutscene.
The moment I can.
There we go. And I'm just gonna let it play out because it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so this cutscene is unskippable, but it should end up in the 100% completed screen. And if that pops up, we will be calling for time, which should be right about
Time.
now. Let's go. 50 sub 1. I'm happy.
No, nice.
That's a decent run. There's a lot of things that can happen, a lot of things that can go wrong. It's a very, very finicky run. The input delay and the lag really doesn't help.
Yeah. Usually, like, we do multiple sessions of this, and we get, like, one okay run, and everything else is just this bad, usually. Especially once the beer gets opened.
Oof. Yeah. don't drink and speedrun, kids.
No, it's a bad idea. Anyways, thank you for having us, and a really big shout out to Swordsman Kirby for basically making this entire thing possible.
He basically made the blueprint for this route by putting the 100% route for the single player in different segments, and from there we actually made this route happen.
Yeah, he made like videos and everything, and it allowed us to time everything really nicely, and we couldn't really show it off, but the actual like run syncs up really nicely. So yeah, big shout out to him, and well, that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll kick it over to Nandi.
Thank you, Kanan, and thank you guys for that great Kirby and Amazing Mirror run. Congrats on world record as well. Coming up next, we have Luigi's Mansion, any percent no out of bounds by Shadow Frost. Coming up, we have a small ad break, and after that, I'll be back, and we'll probably be ready.